You're being race baited by WorldStar.
Ooh, baby, I'm the one. No, you can't replace the sun.
I shouldn't have to be making this video. I was going to hold off on making such serious videos because I felt like with so much stuff going on right now, we kind of needed some lighthearted fun, which is why you got the last video. But something has come to my attention. Separatism. We are all trying to come together in a time of unity to fight against oppression, police brutality. We're coming together black, white, Asian, Hispanic, and we're fighting for black lives. This is a time where we need unity. If you guys have seen, WorldStar has been posting up these videos of Dominicans running black people out of Dykeman, Chicago Mexican gang members working with the police and running black people out of their communities. And it's caused an uproar on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. See, I always knew Hispanics were racist. I always knew things like that, right? Before we really get into this, I want to say one thing. I believe strongly in ancient Hermetic principles, the laws of the universe. This comes from Hermes Trismegistus of Egypt. This is ancient knowledge. The first principle is called the all is mind. The all is mind. It basically means that which you focus on is what comes into fruition. It means that everything that has ever been created is a construct of the mind, has come from the mind. It's the same way we may look at macroscopic picture of the universe and it looks like a bunch of synapses firing off. It looks like neurons. A lot of scientists have believed that the universe is all part of this one conscious mind. A lot of religions have believed that. I say the all is mind because when you move off of hate, it could be hate from racist people, or it can be the built up anger that eventually turns into hate for racism. When you focus on hate, you live hate. You create hate. Another Hermetic principle that I want to talk about is the law of vibration. That basically says that everything in the universe is vibrating, and everything vibrates on frequency ranges. They go from the gross to the most high. Gross meaning the most solid, the most earth-based. Going to the most high, I would go to, most high God, but even something smaller than that, light, heat, energy, the ether. It's all vibration. I say that because things vibrate at a certain frequency. Hate vibrates at a low frequency. When you live in hate, when you spread hate, you become hate, you invite hate, and all you will see is hate because it's a low vibrating thing, and vibrations are contagious. The last one that I want to talk about is another law comes from the Kabbalion. This is ancient knowledge from the Kabbalion passed down by 3 initiates. Third one is polarity. As above, so below, yin and yang. There's evil in the good, there's good in the evil, there's negative in the positive, there's positive in the negative. We got bad apples everywhere. There are some Hispanics who are racist, who are self-hating, who are intolerant of black people. There are black people who are intolerant of their own black people, of other races, of anyone who resembles a hoodlum. I did this video without my hat. Usually I have my hat. I did this video without my hat, one, to show you I'm black. I'm black. But what is black? Is black a skin color? Is black a race? To be honest, black doesn't exist. None of us are. This color is black. No, I've never met anyone that was this color. Black doesn't exist. I have African in me. African in my blood. African ancestors. But being that we're gonna talk in the terms of black, I'm black. I'm Puerto Rican. I'm Taino. And I fight alongside with my black brothers. And I'm not someone who perpetuates the hate that most Hispanics have seen for a long time. And I want to be a little organized with this because I want to make sure that I get everything. Because I'm really upset. I'm really upset that the talk now is of separatism, that we have taken the focus off of the real enemy who has took their mask off. You've seen the cops talking about, we're gonna beat the fuck out of you after 8. It's not hidden, it's in your face. We know the enemy. The black enemy is not Hispanics, the black enemy is not Asian, the black enemy is the European mind. And when I say European, I mean the colonialist mind that has been here for centuries. The all is mind. The reason why there's Hispanics that are racist or self-hating is because they have been whitewashed. They have been brainwashed, just like there are black people that have been brainwashed. I'll attack the Spanish first because I'm going to take full responsibility for my people and I'm going to talk on them. There is a hierarchy that was put in place by white colonialists, especially from Spain, that came to the Caribbean islands and were trying to change the hierarchy. Those that were closer to being dark, closer to being black, were put farther down on the hierarchy. The ones that were the lowest on the hierarchy are the Native Americans. Native Americans are at the bottom of the hierarchy because they did not want, that's who you stole the land from. They didn't want them to have any power. They were at the bottom. Next comes the Africans, both free and enslaved. They were allowed to live and to work because they were slaves. They were gonna work. They were slaves. I'm not advocating for that. Slavery was fucking wrong. Natives were actually wiped out. You're dead. You're done. Next was mulattoes. Those are the European and African descent. The European mixed with the African, black and white mulatto mixed. Then you got the Creoles. Creoles are born in America of 100% European descent. And then you got Peninsula, born in the Iberian Peninsula. Those are the pure Europeans, those are the pure rights. There's a hierarchy built amongst Hispanics. The whole Afro-Latino movement was trying to shed a light on that, of the colorism in Hispanic culture. I've seen a lot of people say that we have so many things to refer to black people. If you ever hear someone call you a mono or moño, that is a monkey. That is a derogatory term. I haven't heard many people say that to people, but if there's people out there saying it to people, fuck you, and you need to learn your fucking place. But people are referring to words like moreno and negro as words that are derogatory towards black people. Moreno means brown. Moreno means this type of skin complexion. Trigueño. It was used by most Hispanics to describe a beautiful brown person. Eventually we started using it for black people. Moreno, for black people. Negro is the word for black. Negra is the word for black. I'm fully addressing the colorism within Hispanic people. Even me, I was ostracized in my family for being the darker one, for having the nappy hair. I was always told I had bad hair. We have colorism, yes, but that was the old generation. Just like, now we're gonna get to some black people. Just like there have been some black people that have been racist to their own kind. I'm not gonna date a black woman because I don't want no dark babies. I've grown up and went to high school and middle school and elementary school with nothing but black and Hispanic people. I've heard other black people tell other black people, you too black, you very black, you dark. It happens both ways. Just yesterday, I went into a Walmart. Mind you, you know how I dress. Y'all watch my videos. I had my dad hat on. I had my Soul Gold dad hat. Walked into the Walmart and I went to go get my stuff taken, checked out. Talked to this lady. The lady was black. The lady had a little bit of an attitude. Now, I'm not trying to get into a little stereotype right now, but she had an attitude. And I'm like, whatever, it's fine. Checked my stuff out. I walked away. I walk away, I'm probably halfway down Walmart now. Walmart is packed. I hear, sir, 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 sir. And the reason why I'm saying it like that is because the attitude was there. That aggression was there. Of course, I turn around, who the hell? At first I didn't because there's a lot of people. There's a lot of sirs. I turned around, it's her. She tells me, she motions to me, come over here. So I go over there. She's like, you're gonna need your receipt. I'm guessing you're not used to being called sir. The reason I needed the receipt is because Walmart has this weird thing of liking to check to see if you stole from their store. Does that not sound a little racially profiled to you? Or culturally profiled? Or maybe because the way I was dressed that she thought that I wasn't used to being called sir? I'm a fucking professional. I'm okay with being called sir. One thing I don't like is attitude. One thing I don't like is you screaming from across the room and expecting me to know who the hell you're talking to, and then me get back up to you and you tell me, I guess you're not used to being called sir. It goes both ways. I've heard a lot of stories from back in the days, 80s, 70s, 90s, where black gangs were fighting Hispanic gangs, killing each other. It was back and forth, back and forth. I think I've spoken enough about the separatism. Every day I fight to educate people in my family or people, other Hispanic people, whoever, that you are in fact black and that there is no difference between us and them. And regardless of what happened in the past, whatever race wars that were happening in the past, a lot of beautiful stuff have happened. I talked a lot about separation. Hip-hop was started by black and Puerto Ricans in the Bronx. We've created some great things. The Black Panthers had a few Puerto Ricans join them and actually created their own chapter called the Young Lords, an effort to fight injustice amongst minorities. We're often grouped in together. I've been called the N-word, and I don't mean in a good way. Like, not like, yo, what's up, man? You know, no, I mean, I've been called the hard R before. So to certain people, I'm still seeing the same. Where's the separation coming from? For you guys out there on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, wherever you're at, and WorldStar, you too, because you guys are fucking up by race baiting. This is the same thing they did with poor whites when blacks first came out here, when Spanish people first came out here, with the Italians and the Irish. The Italians and the Irish were the lower of the hierarchy before. Then, when you compare them to blacks and Hispanics, oh, but you guys are lower than us. Why? Because it's race baiting. Because it's a military tactic, divide and conquer. The more you are separate, the easier it is to get you. The more you are unified, the better you stand a chance against an oppressive government. I don't want to hear anybody preaching a separatism. If you have a mind, if you have a brain, a heart, and soul, please do not share anything that's causing any more of the separatism. Now we're going to talk about what started this thing. There was 2 videos that were shared on WorldStar that started this whole thing that people are now trying to attack Hispanics. One video was in Dyckman. A few black protesters came to Dyckman. They didn't start doing anything. There was no looting. There was nothing. The Dominicans said, if you ain't from here, it's best you not be here. They kicked them out. I didn't necessarily agree with that, but I did some research, I did some digging, and I found a couple other videos.
We squashed the beef that everybody thought there was beef, but there wasn't. It was a misunderstanding. We got Flacco from the BX, Scrub, Dyckman is in the building, and I want to personally say I apologize for what happened. We are men of our word. There's no more to it, man. At the end of the day, I want people to understand we all unified. We all bleed the same color. We all bleed the same color. And we did this so people could stop promoting violence, and we're not about violence. At the end of the day, we all going through the same struggle. But I gotta salute these guys because they came into our hood. They came back so we could show everybody that, look, we are united. It was a misunderstanding. And everybody with that chit chat, leave it alone, man.
Post this on the ground.
Yeah, post this on the ground.
Apology right here.
Make this go viral.
Make this go
Public
viral.
apology right here.
Nobody got hurt, and everybody came together, and everybody understands that at the end of the day, we are one human race. One.
But at the end of the day, the cops are fucking us up, and we gotta stick together and fight against police brutality. Right.
Y'all know that love, but we out of here.
Yo, Shorty, you wanna say something?
So stop falling for the enemy's tactics. Dead it. Black and brown stand together. Hispanic and black stand together. Because divided we fall. Divided we fall. Yes, some of those cops were Hispanic. Just like some of those cops were black. Just like some of those cops were white. Because it's the white mind. It's gone deeper than skin. It's gone deeper than this. It's the mind. Now, as for looting, here's where I stand on the looting thing. Looting and rioting are the voices of the oppressed. The shock to the system that is currently enlightening the whole world and even other countries. Nobody was listening when we were protesting peacefully. When I saw that video of George Floyd, I was yelling at my phone, get the fuck off of him! I was yelling, somebody do something. Somebody move. Y'all watching him die, and nobody's moving. Nobody's pushing the cops off of him. I was fucking angry, and I was ready to throw shit. And when I saw people throwing shit and burning shit, I was like, good. One thing I don't agree with is going to communities like Dyckman. What's in Dyckman? Are there courthouses in Dyckman? Are there government buildings in Dyckman? I'm sure there's police departments, but did you go to the police departments? Look, guys, you going into communities, especially poor communities or impoverished communities, to destroy mom and pop shops. I've seen black owners get their store looted. But you guys are also playing into this because there's also cops that are here planting bricks, causing the chaos, paying people to go out and cause chaos. There's white people destroying stuff. I don't care about Gucci. Go ahead. Go destroy Gucci. I don't care. What I do care about is the small bodegas that are owned by Dominican people, or that are owned by black people, or that are owned by people that are fighting your fight. being destroyed. They already destroyed our communities with crack and guns and gentrification. We're gonna go and do it too. But with all that being said, we got their attention. The world is watching. Everyone's watching. All the countries are involved now, and they're being outed for the bullshit. The government. That's what I mean. They. So the looting is good. It's good and it's bad. There's a balance to it. Like I said, that's the same law of the whole polarity thing, right? As above, so below. There's evil in the Black Lives Matter movement too. There have been some leaders in the Black Lives Matter movement that only come around when a kid dies. And then stay for a little bit, do a little huffing and puffing, and then they're gone. I know because I was a part of those protests. I was a part of those protests. When I saw that kid Cyprian being fucking beat by a cop, I went out there and I stood on a podium and I was angry. And I talked to everybody, strangers I didn't even know. This ain't even my community. I'm not from Morristown, New Jersey. I'm from LES, Lower East Side, New York. So the separate shit, dead it. Dead it. I have black and brown brothers. Some of the best love I've ever received from anyone, some of the best advice I've ever received from anybody have been black. My best friends are black. And I say friends, my best friends are black. The best people in my life are black. But I was raised by a Hispanic woman. I was taught everything I know by a Hispanic woman and by Hispanic men. And I've had those times too, and I can admit, I've had those times of ignorance. I've had those times of seeing family ignorance, is seeing that shit, and me check the shit out of them. Me be like, I've gone into full-on arguments with some of my own Spanish people to defend y'all. Because y'all are me. I don't see no difference. But now people are preaching a difference, and I don't like that. Also, WorldStar. Stop going so hard for WorldStar. WorldStar sometimes can be a great platform, can inform us of what's actually going on, inform us about the injustices, but sometimes can be murder porn. Sometimes can perpetuate more anger, more of this hate. There's not enough posting of the good stuff that's happening, but you know, the bad stuff gets the views. We have been fighting together this whole time. But I've experienced racism from black people. I've been called guala guala. I've been called a goya bean. I've been called all that. Am I gonna sit here and let that tell me all black people are bad and I'm not fighting for your fight or anymore like that? No, no. And any Hispanic who is saying that, trust me, I'm there to check you. Because I know back in the days it was a race war. I know you probably got jumped by a bunch of black people, just like a black kid probably got jumped by a bunch of Dominicans in Dykeman. But focus on the unity, guys. Even the gangs, the Latin kings said, we stand with them. We're just not gonna let our communities get destroyed, but we stand with them. But what we need to do is we need to stick together, recognize the enemy. We need to arm ourselves. Y'all better learn how to use a gun, get registered, do everything you need to do. And I'm gonna be sharing the information. If you're in Jersey, just DM me. My Instagram is there. DM me. I'm gonna show you the information on how to get your gun registration, and I'm gonna be doing it too. The information is out there. You know how they say, and I'm not even Christian, you know how they say the devil lives in the church? That's because the devil is going to use the knowledge that's there, the holy knowledge, to throw in a little lies, throw in a little deception, so that way, you know what I'm saying, you're on the dark side now. It's the same thing that's happening here. They don't want us to unify. If they know that they could push this agenda of black versus Hispanic, it's like Civil War. Y'all watch Captain America Civil War? Remember Baron Zemo, the villain of that? He was like, if I could tear the Avengers apart from inside, then they're easily conquered. And he almost did it. He almost did. He was before Thanos, he was the first one that almost did it. He definitely successfully got a whole showdown. That's what they want. I'm not even looking at that's what I'm looking at you. That's what they want. They want to separate us and they want us to fight each other, so we're not busy. We're not focusing on them. They could take us over. Look at even in the protests. There's been some times where the cops was trying to make arrests and there was mad people around them. They weren't even successful. They weren't successful. Then there's been a couple times where people dispersed into several groups and they took advantage of that and arrested those people, beat those people. You guys, I'm on your side. I love you. Now's the time for unity and love, not hate. Let the anger fuel you to do something, but let the love of black lives motivate you to connect everyone. Asian, Hispanic. And I saw some comments on China Mac's thing, where the Asians, where the Asians. China Mac has been on that shit. China Mac has been talking out for this shit. And I've seen him keep making videos, keep talking about it, keep getting other people. And I've seen a lot of Asians. I've seen Asians get locked up. I've seen white people get locked up. I'm surprised. There's white people. They're calling out their own families for racism. I want to say another thing. People are saying get up and vote, get out there for those elections and stuff like that. Vote for your local congressman and stuff like that. No, nobody should be voting until there is a promise of police reform. Not one person should put a vote in unless there is a candidate that is going to fulfill their promise with police reform. And definitely don't vote for Trump. Because if you vote for Trump, you're not with all this. Regardless of how you try to rationalize it, whatever taxes he takes, he doesn't take from people that make a little bit more. I don't care. I don't care. Look, he's calling the military on the American people. He's done. Don't vote for a single soul. Joe Biden wants to be president? Bet. Police reform. We need a group to police the police. Give us that, you got my vote. I don't care. You got my vote. Protect black and brown lives, you got my vote. But I also really want to be clear. I want to be very, very, very clear. Nobody is discounting, and this goes for all my black people who are talking about, you know, well, Hispanics can be racist, whatever. No one's discounting that. No one is discounting your experiences. I've seen it personally. I've seen my own family, disappointed to say it. I've seen my own family do that. You know, nobody's discounting experiences. Nobody's saying that what you're saying is not true. Nobody's saying that doesn't exist. It does. We know. We know. That was the older generation. This younger generation is with you. We with you. And we checking our parents. And we checking our grandparents. We checking our cousins. And now we got white people checking their grandparents, their cousins. People are checking. They're checking them. This is the change we need, y'all. Ride with the wave. Stop falling into the enemy's plans. Anyways, you guys, that's all I gotta say. I was a little passionate. If anybody felt offended by that, definitely let me know in the comments. Let me know. I'll redo another video if you felt like I missed something or I was incorrect on something. But you guys, peace and love and unity. Let's stop this oppression now. Shade be crazy. I'm signing out. I love y'all.